Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new travel photography vlog. We are filming on the phone today because this is like kind of a last minute decision to do this. I also really couldn't have brought my other camera to film, mainly because it's not weather sealed and it is currently raining. But we also have some incredibly foggy conditions here, and I'm currently at a place I haven't been to in probably almost 1 year exactly, and that is 18 Mile Creek Conservation Park. And it's just a really great local woodland, and I enjoy coming here when the conditions are right. And I don't know how well you guys can tell, but the conditions definitely are right today. We have a light rain, and we have got some recent snowfall, and it's a little warmer today, so the snow is starting to melt. Pair it with the rain, and we're getting some amazing foggy conditions here. I'll try to shoot some B-roll as well. But I've just been walking around, being very mindful of looking for good, solid compositions, and trying to improve on some of the mistakes I make pretty often when it comes to woodland. Is I think I see good compositions and I start taking a lot of different photos, and a lot of times they just don't end up working. I'll go back in Lightroom, I'll look at the catalog, and just nothing ends up working. And I think it's because I don't spend enough time looking for things that actually work. And I think one of the best things that you can do with woodland is just keeping it simple, simple, simple. Trying to look for compositions that aren't too messy, and waiting for the right conditions, because that will help you get better photos. Especially with fog, for example, it kind of adds a nice blur to the background. So whatever subject or subjects you're trying to shoot stand out a little bit better, and you kind of get a dreamier, more atmospheric look, which always looks really, really nice. And we still have a lot of fallen leaves on the ground. The beech trees are doing their thing here. If you can see in the background, this tree here, the American beech trees, they hold their leaves over winter and they have a nice golden color. So they stick out really, really well, like these ones in the background are. I've also got a nice little stream here, and I'm going to set up to take a photo of this, and I'll show you guys what it looks like, or at least a picture off the phone. It's all about the art of noticing. That's a phrase I've been hearing get thrown around a lot, and it makes a lot of sense. That's really what I think this particular genre of photography is all about, is the art of noticing small little compositions, patterns, textures, shapes, and lines. And it's very, very difficult, and it's an aspect of photography that I struggle at, that I want to get better at, because I see amazing woodland photos all the time. One of my favorite photographers who does woodland is Nigel Danson. He's been a huge inspiration, and I'd like to add a lot more of these types of photos to my portfolio. So that is going to be what today is all about. So as you guys can see, this is basically the composition that I'm trying to go with. Angling the camera down a little bit, and maybe getting some of these trees up here. But we have this nice leading line coming up through the frame, and the nice leaves on either side, which contrasts very, very well, I find, with the white snow. So yeah, nothing super crazy. I just want this water, this little stream here, to act as a nice diagonal that will lead your eye through the frame into all of the amazing trees out there. Maybe I'll move a little bit to the right so this tree and this tree are a little bit more separated. Kind of if I if I go like this, maybe that's a little bit better. Then we kind of lose a little bit of this here. So it's just all about paying attention to small little details like that. So I'm gonna set up with my my camera here, which I've got this nice little rain thing on it. It's doing a really good job, actually, and I've been just peeling on and off. I know my camera's weather sealed, but if I can keep as much water off the lens as possible, it's gonna make life a lot easier. quick update for you guys. So I moved down the trail just a little bit, and I think I have another composition here. I did find a really nice waterfall down that way, and I think I'll like some of those photos for sure. Also, really cool reflection opportunities in the water as well. But looking at what we have here, I really like how this tree and this tree over here are both on the left and right thirds of the frame. And I think we have some kind of nice diagonals here with the river. Although I'm not too hopeful this is going to work as a shot, as it is a little messy. There is a little bit too much maybe going on right here in the middle. So one other sort of tip that I could give for Woodland is that if you can keep as much of the sky out of the frame as possible, I think that will benefit you in the long run. A lot of times those really bright highlights end up getting blown out, chromatic aberration is really strong, and it's just a big distraction. So try to keep that out of the frame if at all possible. That's another reason why I find that sometimes stepping away from the subject you're trying to shoot and then cropping in or zooming in with your lens will help with that, and to better focus in on the subject that you're trying to get instead of trying to get right up and close and personal to it, which I've done in the past, and I think sometimes is not always the correct move. So here we are looking at another potential composition, and yes, we are switching over to the voiceover because the audio from this particular segment really just wasn't salvageable. But yeah, that tree right there was something else. It was absolutely huge. I presume it to be some kind of maple or oak tree, but I wanted to get a photo of it in some way, shape, or form, and this was kind of the composition that I settled on. The large trunk of this tree is dominating this right third of the frame as it looks over this tiny little ravine where we have that stream flowing through the left third, and the white patch of snow is acting sort of as a nice diagonal, you know, a way to separate those two elements of this photo, make them stand out a little bit more, I guess. So yeah, this is the composition, and I'll show you guys the edited photo here in just a second. So it is starting to rain a little bit more now, and it's making things a little bit more difficult by trying to, you know, of course, keep the lens dry, but conditions are still really, really good, as you can tell behind me. So I'm going to keep walking down the main trail, trying to get back onto that, get away from this sort of stream area, and try to move on to find new things. I was going to continue walking down this way here, but it does require crossing the creek, which is a little too deep for my liking, so I'm just going to kind of move back up this hill here and try to move on to find some new things. Okay, so the rain is still continuing to come down here, and I'm probably going to be leaving soon, although I really don't. These conditions are nothing short of incredible, and I'm really happy with some of the photos that I've gotten so far. And we're wrapping up, honestly, at what is a very pleasant surprise. You guys just saw that B-roll footage of this huge seasonal waterfall. I've come here several times, and I have never once seen it flowing like it's flowing right now. So I've gotten very lucky to grab some photos of it. And it might be worth coming here and scouting in the future a way to possibly get down towards the base of this thing. That could open up some really unique opportunities to get some photos of it when it's flowing like it is. But it is at least 50 feet tall, and it can be a little dangerous. So maybe that's something for a day where it's not super rainy and slippery like it is right now. But I just can't believe how lucky we got to see something like this. Again, I've been coming here for years. I've never seen it once flowing at this rate, and I'm super happy to get some photos of it. Okay, so just wrapped up with a few more shots of the waterfall from a slightly different angle. Walked down the trail a little bit, and yeah, of course there's a better angle, right? I should have looked first before setting up, but honestly I'll take having both angles instead of having just one. And when I was getting that other angle, I saw some really nice looking trees that were kind of, you know, hanging off the side of a very rocky cliff face. So I messed around with a few photos of that, and I honestly don't want to leave, but my camera is getting pretty wet, and it has been wet for a while, and I know what the weather seal rating is on it, but I do not want to push anything. I did bring a small towel with me to dry the camera off, but obviously that only does so much once the towel starts to get saturated. So I'm making my way back down the main trail, all the way back to the parking lot, and it's quite a ways to go, probably maybe like a mile at most, but I think this was a success, and it just goes to show that some days like this, the rainy days, are way better for photo opportunities than the really nice sunny days, and you should definitely try to get out in both if you can, because there is unique opportunities on the days where it seems like the conditions are miserable or not good. Sometimes that's where the best photos are, so definitely try to get out in those conditions if you can. And before we wrap the video up, I do have a few other photos that I took before I actually started filming the vlog. And this is one of them. Also, by the way, there are like a handful of other photos that I still haven't edited from this shoot that didn't make it into this video. And if I decide to edit them, I will be posting them on my social media. So check those out, link in the description. And most of these photos should be up on my website. So here is the first photo. I don't have names for any of these just yet. That'll take a little while to come up with titles. But this was near the entrance or near the start of the main trail. And I took a photo of these two trees. Well, the tree there on the left, I took a photo of it alongside the trail, sort of leading to the frame. And I was standing on the other side, facing the opposite direction. And I thought it was okay until I turned around and faced the other way. Ended up liking it a lot more. And I think the vertical orientation ended up working a lot better. Here is the second photo. This was taken along the trail that led us up to that little stream area. This is a 3-step focus stack to get the whole downed tree in focus alongside the beech tree in the distance. And this was a small little section where there was 3 really large downed trees. I have another photo of one of the other ones that is just behind and to the right of this, but it's not going to make it in this video, unfortunately, but I should be sharing it on socials. And this is the last one that I wanted to share. Again, very, very simple composition, and you can kind of see how that this photo works a lot better in these foggy conditions. Otherwise, you know, the tree on the left there would potentially get lost in the chaos of the background, and those 2 smaller trees on the right I think add nicely, and the other branches kind of make some cool lines, especially the ones on the foreground. So yeah, very, very simple. Like this one quite a bit. And that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along on this journey with me. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, I did not want to leave this day, and I'm looking forward to the next day where we get conditions like this, because I'll definitely be out doing some woodland again. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you around.